Yo, what is going on, fam? Welcome back to Gains and Gospel, your go-to place for all things faith and fitness. Man, I just finished up a solid shoulders and arms workout here on a Saturday. But today, I wanted to go with a little bit of a different approach. Last week I actually celebrated my 1-year anniversary in the Army. And it got me just reflecting on some life lessons, just kind of some free chicken, if you will. And a lot of this, I felt like, hey, you can apply it to both faith and fitness and just life in general. So take it for what it is. I just wanted to share. Now, full disclosure, I enlisted in the Army at 30 years old versus someone that's fresh out of high school or college. So my experience is a bit unique. So again, take this all for what it is. But here are 7 things that I've learned my first year in the Army. Number 1, that is to prioritize your health. I know that's kind of got an asterisk next to it, right? But just as the Bible reminds us that our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, and it's so crucial just to prioritize your physical health, right? Nurturing our bodies through exercise, proper nutrition, rest. It allows us to better serve our communities, be present, active in our work, and to ultimately just fulfill our purpose. Number 2, that's to be an eager student. Approach each day with just genuine interest. Proverbs 18:15 says that an intelligent heart acquires knowledge and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. Like, approach each day with just humility that like, hey, I don't know it all, and a hunger for knowledge, which eventually turns into wisdom, right? Applying that knowledge, but recognizing that the lessons of life and faith and fitness and Army, because there's so many acronyms, it's endless. But number 3, respond more than you react. Right? Galatians 5:22 reminds us of some of the fruits of the Spirit. In verse 23, I believe, talks about self-control. Like, thoughtful responses are going to carry way more weight than just impulsive reactions. And you get to pick, so choose wisely. And let the peace of God guide your actions. Number 4, and that is listen more than you talk. I know that's hard to do in today's culture. Everybody has an opinion, but in the Gospel of Mark, Jesus tells us to love each other more than we love ourselves. Like, understanding comes from attentive ears, not eloquent words. Be present in every conversation. Number 5, nobody cares about your rank. This has been a tough one for me. But Philippians 2 teaches us to do nothing out of selfish ambition or vanity or conceit, but in humility, consider others better than ourselves. Especially in my role, like, nobody cares about what you do. They just care about that you do. And do what you're supposed to do with integrity, like lead with integrity, not authority. Nobody cares about insignia. Number 6, embrace discipline. Hebrews 12 reminds us that no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. However, later on, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. That's Hebrews 12:11. I had a mentor tell me something that was really good. He said, nothing worth it is ever easy, and nothing easy is ever worth it. And number 7, I think this is the big one here. Leadership is service. In the Gospel of Mark, chapter 10, verse 45, it teaches us that, and Jesus says that even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. True leadership isn't about power. It's not about prestige, but about serving others with compassion, humility, and mirroring literally the perfect example set by Jesus. Jesus embodied humility in every aspect of his life. Despite being the Son of God, he willingly took on the form of a servant, washing the feet of his disciples as a symbolic gesture of just humility, servitude. We see that in John chapter 13. Like, just think about that, right? Like, what king steps off his throne to wash feet? Now, I'm not suggesting that, you go wash someone's toes today, but just prioritize compassion and empathy in your interactions with others. Like, this is the true heart of leadership. And kind of flowing into the second part of what we do, like in Matthew 2, what we also see is not just the true heart of leadership, but the true heart of worship displayed by the wise men. You have to consider that at that point in Matthew chapter 2, Jesus was a baby. He hadn't grown into the humble, compassionate leader that we know him to be. Yet here we see like these wise men worshiping Jesus, not for anything that he did. He was a baby. He hadn't done anything yet, but they were worshiping him for who he is. And there's a powerful distinction between the two, right? Like, if my relationship with God is solely based on what he does for me, like I'm missing the standard. And I think we can all identify one person in our lives who only comes around when they want something, right? And if you can't identify that person, you probably are that person. But in all seriousness, like it hurts, it sucks, because it's like, man, like you only want me for my stuff, or you only come around when I can do something for you. But so many of us treat God this way. Like we only pray or attempt to draw near to him when life is hard, when crap hits the fan, when we need to get out of trouble. That's so backwards, right? Like if that's you, I want to encourage you to read up on Matthew chapter 2 and see the true heart of worship, right? Come to him with this attitude of like, Lord, I'm not coming to you for your stuff. I'm not coming to you for another blessing right now. I'm coming to you who you are. And I brought you gifts, right? So I hope that blesses you, man. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a workout tip or a devotional. And if you are a fellow service member, first responder, or veteran, I just love to connect, man. I am also an online trainer, and I specialize in helping men lose fat while building muscle, all while just moving and feeling better overall. So you can check out the link in the description or hit me up on Instagram at Keith Pittman Jr., and I will be happy to walk you through it. So listen, man, keep crushing it in the gym. Stay fit, stay healthy. I'm praying for you. And until next time.